The senator from Texas.
Mr. President, unfortunately, we just saw the senator from Vermont object to a compromise solution negotiated by Senator Toomey and Senator Lummis that would have mitigated some of the harm from the devastating new regulations on cryptocurrency in this so-called infrastructure bill. Because the senator from Vermont raised that objection, the status quo right now is these new regulations are going into effect, and billions of dollars of value are going to be destroyed. Right now, today, about 106 million people are using cryptocurrencies around the world, according to at least one recent report. The average annual income in the United States for a blockchain developer is $136,000. That represents a steady career, a good income for someone to own a home, to raise a family, to live a good and comfortable life. And Texas is helping lead the way. Texas is taking the lead this past year as a major hub for cryptocurrency businesses and is even being hailed as the cryptocurrency capital. But all of this is under threat. Regulatory uncertainty is the #1 barrier to blockchain adoption, according to 48% of respondents in a recent report. And they're right to be worried. The current bill widens the definition of broker. Those who would have to collect information on cryptocurrency consumers and report this information to the IRS. It would force every single participant in the cryptocurrency structure to operate as a financial institution, which would mean they would have to provide consumer information to the IRS, even if they don't have access to that information. This overly broad definition of the word broker will block rapid innovation in cryptocurrencies, and it will endanger the privacy of many Americans in cryptocurrencies. This is wrong. So I applaud my colleagues for trying to find an incremental approach. Unfortunately, because the senator from Vermont objected, that incremental approach hasn't been adopted. So let's exercise a brief, shining moment of common sense. And let's recognize, if we've gathered all 100 senators in this chamber and asked them to stand up and articulate 2 sentences defining what in the hell a cryptocurrency is, that you would not get greater than 5 who could answer that question. Given that reality, the barest exercise of prudence would say we shouldn't regulate something we don't yet understand. We should actually take the time to try to understand it. We should hold some hearings. We should consider the consequences. We shouldn't destroy people's lives and livelihoods from complete ignorance. My amendment's very simple. Doesn't add anything new to this bill. It just strikes these provisions. It says, look, let's not do this till we know what we're talking about. Let's be cautious. Let's be reasonable. Let's not be the #1 economic developer for the Communist Party of China by sending cryptocurrencies overseas to our competitors because we've made it impossible for them to succeed here. Accordingly, Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that notwithstanding adoption of substitute amendment number 2137, that the Cruz amendment number 2466 be agreed to.
Is there objection?
Mr. President.
The senator from Alabama.
Reserving the right to object, I ask that the senator from Texas modify his request to include my amendment number 2535 dealing with defense infrastructure in this country, and that it be agreed to.
Does the senator from Texas agree to so amend?
Reserving the right to modify my request, I would share with the senator from Alabama that I have the deepest respect for the leadership of the senator from Alabama, that I understand the senator from Alabama has a profound commitment to the fighting men and women of our military, as do I, that the senator from Alabama's commitment to invest in our military and military infrastructure is laudable, and I fully support that commitment. And indeed, I would commit to the senator from Alabama that I am more than ready and eager to partner with him to press through in this body, through any avenue that is available, investing sufficient funds in our military, in our sailors, in our soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines, and in the weaponry they need to defend this nation. But sadly, we know in this context that our Democratic colleagues are going to object to funding for the military. They have decided that is not within their priorities, even as they are spending trillions of dollars on everything else. Defending this nation is not a priority for the Democratic members of this conference. And so, if your amendment is added to my amendment, the effect will be what we just saw a moment ago, which is a Democratic senator standing up and objecting and claiming the reason for objecting is they don't want to fund the military anymore. I believe it is in the interest of this body to have a clean vote on, do we destroy cryptocurrencies, yes or no, without any other issues, because as much as I would like to join the senator from Alabama in investing more in the military, and I am committed to working with him to doing so, I also don't believe we should be destroying jobs and billions of dollars of value in this country. Accordingly, I do not so modify my request.
Is there objection to the original request
I object.
by the senator from Texas? The senator from Alabama objects. Objection is heard.